Norikor is my name. My background is with the Israeli Security Agency, with critical infrastructure defense, with applied physics. I work with the ASEO worldwide. I run the technology and cybersecurity services side of the house, and that includes all the portion of detection of fake users, fake news, how to put your hand on the disinformation campaign when it is still run on bots before real people are hooked up into the thing. What Acero does for a living is mainly complex risk assessments, sectorial ones, including interdependencies and interfaces between stakeholders within the sector. That includes the supply chain cybersecurity session that I gave here an hour ago or so. But now we are into foreign interference and disinformation campaigns. So before we start, and again, I'm trying to hit on the context of the things in order to make sure that you understand that the best session in CyberTech is starting now. So disinformation campaigns, it is totally not a new phenomenon. I'm sure that sometimes when you're bored, you go on Netflix to Second World War films, you see a lot of disinformation campaigns that the Soviets did against the Nazis, America did against the Soviets after the Second World War. You can go to the Bible and find some good disinformation campaigns in the Bible as well, okay? So the phenomena is not new. What is new is the fact that in the past, the communication channels were held by the ruler, the king, the president, the government. So the Voice of America could broadcast whatever they wanted to Eastern Europe by the decision of a person or a commission. But that has changed because today, every one of us is a tiny communication center. We are all linked to Facebook, to Instagram, to all these social media channels, and therefore we can all publish whatever we want, and if it is published well, people will believe that this is what is happening. And again, I will not go into politics. You know, these days everything, especially in political conflicts and all what we are seeing in Ukraine with Russia is very hot and sensitive. But even today, in the newspaper today, I read that if yesterday there was a publication that the famous monument in Babi Yar, it is a monument for, especially for the Jewish people, very sensitive for us from Second World War, that it was hit by Russians, this and that, so apparently it is not correct. So this is a kind of a disinformation campaign, a tiny one that I just read about it in the newspaper today. But back to what we have here on the slide. So due to the fact that these days it is relatively easy to go online, to publish, to communicate with people and to convince people that the reality is this and not that, we can understand that you can undermine trust in governments, manipulate election outcomes, like what was done in the United States in 2016. As you remember, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, I don't need to repeat that. Targeting individual reputations, and of course, seeing brands and companies. Mark Twain said once that necessity is the mother of taking chances and being innovative. In this field of disinformation campaigns, I must tell you that both the attackers as well as the defenders, they show impressive innovation, and Assaf is with us here in order to share with us some pieces of those innovative approaches. So without any further ado, I would like to call on stage Assaf Danby from Cyabra, who makes living out of fighting for the good ones in the disinformation campaigns ground field. Assaf, please. Okay, so Assaf, we'll start with a few questions, and then sit here. I'll sit, because I'm sure that you'll use some slides shorter than planned. Okay, so let's start with disinformation campaign. So in your perspective, what is disinformation? What is fake news? And where in today's world are we witnessing fake campaigns?
So first of all, thank you very much. Zori's, your moderation skills definitely precede you. Disinformation and fake news. This is fake news. Buzzword was, as Zori mentioned, used in 2016 with the elections, but this phenomenon is just becoming more and more sophisticated. We're looking at both disinformation and misinformation. These are two very different things. What Cyabra and what we're focusing on is the idea to look at the spread of this. We are...
If you prefer to stand, the floor is
No, we can sit down. I've been standing all day. So we're looking at this phenomenon. Social media has now almost become a weapon. You see propaganda. This is the new newspaper of today. You see propaganda. You're not being politically forward, but I'll show you some events that recently took place in Ukraine and Russia. We were part of the recent news on... Oh, perfect. That we were identifying 11,000% increase in negative content regarding Ukraine, ministers, Ukraine profiles. And out of this, our AI that we've built through a lot of experience in information warfare from the IDF, 53, or I think it was 56% of all these accounts were actually fake. So you're looking at this network of like bot farms out of Russia that are taking advantage of the platform and spreading very harmful and other fake content. So this is what we're looking at. And this is happening in the elections. It happens during these kind of difficult times. And again, we are coming from that world of information warfare experts of the IDF. And what we're looking at, you mentioned, Instagram and Facebook, but now if you look at TikTok is a new platform that we're analyzing. TikTok is the new frontier. It's the wars that have been happening. There's no kind of real filtering tool on this platform. So we are seeing a huge spike in interaction with videos and so on. And what we're seeing is other, tanks that are rolling into, places in Kiev, but it's actually a video that happened 10 years ago. So these are different kind of manipulation tactics that are being used.
And you refer to it as misinformation or disinformation?
So, very good question. The biggest difference is that someone who's uploading a photo knowing that this is not fact, that this is actually a photo from, 10 years ago, is spreading disinformation. The difference is the intent. So these accounts have the intent to share something that is fake. The misinformation are people like you and me who are digesting this level of information, and then we are continually spreading it on to our networks and so on. So it's knowing that we're having knowledge and information, but not knowing if it's actually fact or fiction. And, during COVID times where the whole world was so hungry for this information, innocent people like, us were just digesting and not knowing if this is coming from any kind of reliable source or not. So that's the main big differences that we're dealing with. But what I want to show you quickly is just an exact case. This is just from our system. We're looking at networks. We're looking at connections between not just a bot farm, but like avatars, sock puppets, malicious accounts that are orchestrating together to spread a topic. It usually is when fake profiles orchestrate, they're spreading something negative or fake. We're not looking at the content. We're not a fact-checking company. We work with with most government agencies that have internal teams, that they are the ones who are doing human intelligence, but are looking at the content. What we're looking at is the spread and the authenticity of the spread itself. So this is just some stuff from our platform. I'm not going to go through so much of the clients right now, but Paul D'Souza is here, was meant to come here, and he's a very big advocate of us in the US. We're working with the State Department, the elections that happened at the Biden elections, but all the foreign influence. I can show you about Russia, China, but also domestic, January 6th. We're looking at snowballs. So imagine someone who is creating a hashtag from a fake profile, is amplifying it with networks of bots and other avatars, that suddenly this hashtag, this piece of information, has been shared, been amplified, and ended up being a protest on the street, or ended up being what happened in January 6th. So these are the alerts that we are providing our clients, the ability to see these campaigns as they're happening and take action. So these are just some of the clients. This is some of the...
If I may, even before you continue, in your perspective, who suffers most due to those campaigns?
So I believe in the government agency side, I believe it's either the innocent bystanders who are not understanding that right now they are becoming part of a campaign that is designed to socially engineer and manipulate them. Also, if it's the brand, you can do the same approach with reputation. So the brands are suffering from reputation-damaging campaigns. So I believe it's the innocent bystander who is being exposed to these social engineering campaigns. Yeah. So I just want to breeze through this. It's the last slide that I'll show you here is actually looking at networks and communities of people. So you were asking who are the people that are being most affected by this. It's the groups of people that we can understand. If it's a certain supporter, if it's a certain network of people that have common interests, to identify the authenticity of this group of people. So how many fake profiles are controlling this conversation? And with that, we're looking at different groups and what is that kind of effect on them. So this is what we did for the US with the State Department. You can see that we are finding groups and we're finding, using our AI, the percentage of people that are controlling the actual narrative. Now, a question I'm going to ask myself, how do we know they're fake? Like, where's this coming from? So we are looking at close to 400 behavioral parameters. If I'm looking at you as a profile, Zori Kaur, your last name is Kaur, I'm looking at, do you have other relatives that you're friends with on Facebook with the last name Kaur? Are you saying you play basketball? Sorry, you sup, right? You paddleboard. So you're saying you paddleboard in Israel and Tel Aviv, but your behavior on social media suggests that you play basketball in Colombia. So we're looking very, very deep into your behavioral patterns. It's not so much that you speak multiple languages, or you are only talking about political campaigns. We're diving very, very deep into public information to see how you're actually behaving. And from there, using our AI to see if this is actually real or inauthentic.
400 parameters?
Correct.
In order to make sure that I'm a real user.
Yeah, that you actually do paddleboarding. The parameters are also weighted differently. So we're looking at either your display picture, the languages. Some are actually weighted more, and we can give you a confidence score. We are at 100% confident this is a fake profile. Depending on the number of parameters, some parameters that not all profiles meet, but we have that in the machine learning in place.
Okay, but not all the parameters are binary ones.
Correct.
Someone goes to sleep at 9 o'clock, someone goes to sleep at 11:30 o'clock.
Correct. So none of them are binary, but they are used in a way that it gives us a very good understanding of what parameters they fall under. So it's activity hours that we're looking at. Everyone's different. But when an account is active from 24 hours, 7 days a week, this is only one parameter. Like, we're not saying that's
it is a machine.
That's only one of the 400 parameters. So we're looking at a lot more. But, there are some tactics that are used that are more malicious than others. And this is what we have kind of reverse engineered from the information warfare founders that we're part of. And that's what we have created today.
Impressive. Understood. Okay. If I may ask, when Cyabra tackles this challenge, practically you're running your algorithm, and what is your delivery? What you provide your client with?
So we provide the client with a SaaS solution that they can log into, provide them with credentials that allow them to enter any profiles, keywords, topics that they're interested in. And with this, with all the input that they put in, they can use the system to identify and create a safety net that alerts them when there is a high level of activity of fake profiles. Furthermore, we work with different agencies and brands that for them it is very important to receive audience intelligence. So I know that there are people who are either criticizing my brand, talking about Coca-Cola, but at the same time they're also talking about chocolate and pizza. This is a very interesting little parameter because now I can shift conversation and create some kind of counter campaign knowing the interests of my audience. And again, we are not looking at, you saw Telegram there, you saw these more private platforms. Everything we're gathering is public. So we are not going into anything private or anything like this. It's everything that we're gathering is public. So fortunately and unfortunately enough, there's a lot of public information out there. And I think the world just accepted that their data is public. So this is what the foundation is on.
Understood. The clients that approach you, people that hit the contact me button, they do it because they're afraid of something or because they are in the situation of Houston, we have a problem?
In most cases in this world, it's very reactive. It's very crisis management. We're on fire, put out the fires for us. So we do get a lot of, like a crisis that usually during these times, it's amplified by these avatars, by these bots and fake profiles. But other ones who click on the check here to contact me is, we have elections now in the Philippines. We have elections all over the world. We want to be that kind of stamp of approval to say what you're digesting, what is being amplified is coming from an inauthentic source. So, you have also in Brazil, there are elections in India. There's elections every time. So these are the two different people that approach us. But as everyone knows, in the cybersecurity in this world, it's mainly a reactive sense. Yeah.
Understood. Any questions from the audience? Hold on.
Hey, Assaf, R&D from Checkpoint. I'm interested in how you actually gather the information. Is it, some integration that you are doing with your customers or crawlers all over the web?
I'll keep it very broad and answer you very generally. We do work with a level of crawlers, but we're integrated into a lot of what our clients are existingly using. There's not so much light I can shed on information gathering, as you know, but again, it's public. We're not having our own avatars that are infiltrating any private Facebook group or so on. So that's my very general and probably didn't answer your question answer.
As we have few more minutes, people sometimes use not the term fake news, but they refer to kind of deep fake.
Yep.
So is it something different? It is a new domain? It is part of the same domain? Please assist us.
I'd say it's definitely part of the same domain. I mentioned TikTok before. I don't know if any of you saw the Tom Cruise TikTok deepfake. Long story short, this video looked like Tom Cruise 100%. A lot of deepfake algorithms picked it up really late, but this was the account that received the most followers. I think it reached like 1 million followers in 24 hours, and it was a fake account. So imagine I can create a follower base based on an image and a video that wasn't real. We're looking at very specific manipulations in these pictures, generative adversarial networks that are usually manipulating the face and the mouth and the eyes. This is going beyond what we can actually keep up with, if you ask me. Deepfakes and even voice recognition, you can call a bank now. I can pretend that I'm you with your voice. I lost my credit card. Give me my CSV, all those numbers. It's a threat that's definitely out there, and you can even use this for even public speaking and speeches. I can show you a video of Donald Trump saying, "I'm going to war with Russia," and it looks completely real. So I believe it's the same realm. We are not focused on the video itself anymore, because a video does its damage. What we're looking at is, okay, where is this, and it is disinformation, where is this coming from? Is it coming from, you know, fake profiles? Where is the source of this video? So that is our pivot that we're doing now with Cyabra.
Okay, and clients that approach you, practically you're not giving them a solution, or it is a solution, but it is a service that you provide them.
So both. We have both the SaaS that we train their teams. I have Yuval and Shai with me here, our expert solution engineers that provide them with either reports or, you know, a managed service. Or as I mentioned, it's on site. They have it there. We train the team. It's something that they use as a continuous monitoring system. So, you know, yes, we've done some really good reports right now in what's happening in Kazakhstan, in Ukraine and Russia, but it's a very simple tool to use that it can integrate, and it's based, you know, on their premise.
Understood. Any additional question?
Hi, I'm Yuval. I have a question, and I'll try to phrase it correctly. Regarding looking at the connections between at the links between the users, the fake ones, can you identify where they're coming from? I don't know, can you blacklist them, or is it part of the solution that you expect the companies to take action?
It's a very good question. So the links that we have from these accounts, it's showing us who is following who and who is the main key opinion leader, the one that has the most reach, the one that is generating the content. In terms of, you know, location, IP, all this, we're public information. So what we are gathering is just, you know, bios or check-ins and so on. So if you're looking to find out where is this directly coming from, we don't provide that end solution. We work in two ways. One, we work in a sense where we are providing governments, police, brands, this intelligence, saying here is these damaging campaigns that are happening. And there's three ways they can go about it. One, you can report them, you can delete them. We did this for the elections in Israel that we had. We found a network of 100,000 bots and bad actors and fake accounts from a country that you probably are aware of, and we went through our Justice Department to report them directly to Twitter, Facebook, and have them removed and deleted from social media. This is a Band-Aid. You know, you do this, two more, you know, are created. So what we're doing is we're using the intelligence to then create counter campaigns with local digital marketing agencies. We work with a number of PR agencies around the world, and with this intelligence, they are now shifting conversation away. This is I believe, the most damaging response you can do, because the damage is done. You want to shift the conversation away. You want to kind of alert people that they've either been exposed to fake news or disinformation. And of course, on the other side is, you know, working with agencies that are saying, okay, we want now to find out IP, where is this from? So we give them unique social media IDs and so on. And it goes to the extent of more intense, you know, finding out where are these actually coming from and taking legal actions. In the UK, in Singapore right now, if you create these campaigns, if you are creating intent to harm on social media, you can actually be charged by this. So a lot of these accounts, they either attack a brand or attack an agency, whatever it may be, and then delete themselves. So Cyabra actually stores this information and links them to the unique social media ID. And then from there, you can actually sue this person and you can take them to court. So that is like the most extreme version. And the other extreme version is getting, you know, kind of more dark gray area technology to find out, you know, who these people physically are. So those are the kind of the three different actionable remediations that we provide, that we suggest.
Assaf, as an expert in this field, if I'm looking, I'm taking it from the commercial field to let's say to the national level. You know, some say that maybe we should educate the public, not only the young generation who are so much into TikTok and all those things that I guess that you understand that I don't have a TikTok account yet, okay?
Yes.
But maybe on a national scale, in order to fight the phenomena of disinformation and fake news campaigns, maybe is it possible kind of educate people to look at information that they receive before they send it out to others, or maybe to check the source from where a certain piece of information came from before they share it with others? May it work, or you think it is a battle that there's no chance to win it?
Education is the key to anything.
Is
In anything, education is where it's coming from. I think today, because of COVID, because of all these elections and election meddling, everyone is a bit more suspicious. So there is a level of, don't believe everything that you read on the internet. But when we're talking about the masses, we're talking about areas that are now receiving 5G. I saw, kids now are opening an iPad at the age of 1. Like, there is such a big now mass media and like mass population that education, I believe, is very limited. We are looking at, very large amount of people, but if we can educate, then that's definitely the best approach.
Thank you.